After months of procrastination, I'm starting upgrading my plumbing. Well, not upgrading, just changing. Now, I'm going to explain what the situation is. When I converted the van, I opted for just one fitting. Now, this is, it says city water inlet there. All that means is it's designed to take water from mains. You plug it in, usually when you are at a caravan park or like I am at someone's house, and you're just connecting up to a hose to use water. Most people then have a separate inlet to fill up your water tanks. I was like, why would I want two holes in my van when I can just have one? And I'd also seen an Aussie YouTuber, I think it was Jazz Morton, who just used the pressure fitting to both fill his tanks and also divert from the tanks to just give you water if you're at a caravan park. So that's what I did. However, this became problematic. Firstly, it caused a lot of pressure build-up in the tanks when I was filling the tanks, and they would swell, and it was just not great. I did have a breather hose and everything, and it sort of worked, but the main issue is that when you have a separate inlet to fill your tank, it's usually quite a wide opening, and you can easily chuck in cleaning tablets. When you have a city connection, or whatever it is, a pressure connection, it is quite different. I'll show you. It's like this. You cannot put a tablet down there, okay? And you should be cleaning your tanks regularly. What naive Rosie did when I first converted it, I did a couple of short trips in the van before I moved into it. And when I got back from those trips, I would empty the tanks. Why would I want water in there if I'm not using it? Well, if you don't empty the tanks, you don't really get any algae in there. It's full. There's not air in there causing yucky things to happen. But if you empty the tanks, it's damp, it's moist, and it's a breeding ground for yucky things. And my water tasted feral after having empty tanks for several months. Oh my God, that water was not drinkable, and I had a filter. I tried fucking filling the tanks with bleach and driving it around and emptying it and refilling it. Worked temporarily. I tried putting cleaning tablets in, but there must have been such a build-up of gunk that it just wasn't enough. And there were no access hatches in these tanks to get in there and give it a scrub. So I have now got rid of those tanks. I'm putting fresh ones in. And I am changing the inlet. I have bought this fancy thing. It was pretty standard actually, it's not that fancy. We have a fill point. See how nice and big that hole is? I can chuck a cleaning tablet in there, fills the tank. There's not going to be a crazy build-up of pressure because there's air can come out. And here is the pressure connection when I'm connected to mains water. Easy peasy, two separate connections. It means a bit more plumbing because I got to have separate hoses on the back, but it means I can regularly clean the tanks, and I know now to keep the tanks full of water even when I'm not using them. So what I'm going to have to do is remove that and replace it with this. So I'm going to have to cut a bigger hole, but it's going to look quite nice. It's white, it's actually lockable, which is cool for safety. That's what I'm going to do. But what I'm more concerned about, like getting that in, cutting the hole, that's okay. I've cut plenty of holes in the van for the air vent, for the window, for the air con, like old hand, whatever. It is nerve-wracking, but that's fine. What's going to drive me nuts is redoing the plumbing inside. Let me show you. The plumbing in here. Look at the lack of access here. I have built a fucking wall here now. I now have a kitchen in place. And I don't know if you can see, I can't even fucking get in here. That tiny, there's a gap there behind the water filter. There's like a little access thing there. And I've got to re-pipe it because what I'm also changing, see this water filter? I put the water filter before the tanks because I was like, well, filter the water before it goes into the tanks, it's clean. But then if you end up with icky tanks like I did, the water is not being filtered when it's sucked out. So the two ideas I have, I'll either have like a Y join so that I can filter it before it goes in and when it comes out, or the simpler way, and I think probably the way I'm going to do it, is rather than filter the water before it goes into the tanks, filter it when I turn the tap on. So the water's in the tanks, turn the tap on, it's sucked up by the pump, goes through the water filter and comes out of the tap. Because that way, you know, that might have actually solved my problem with the yucky tasting water. It could have. Maybe. Anyway, that's the plan, and I don't really want to start because I'm hot and sweaty already and I haven't even bloody started. And if I don't finish the job, I'm not going to have running water. But I guess I don't have to connect the tanks today. I just got to make sure the pressure one is connected. So yeah, I guess I start cutting a hole. Is that what I do next? Well, I got to remove the inlet that's there. I'm going to go turn off the hose. That's the first step. Let's just start with simple things. I'll turn off the hose. Okay, and then I can unplug that hose. A bit of water's going to come out of that. Oof. Look how good that silicone job is. I'm fucking proud of that. Look at that. Neat as. I've forgotten how to do it neatly. Right, wish me luck. Let's start with the easy bit and remove the screws. Getting the Sikaflex off is, you gotta use friction, manual labour. So I've got a scraper, probably gonna damage the paint, that's okay. I've got some touch-up paint, so let's do it. If you're doing this, it's important you use stainless steel screws if they're exterior, which I have. Look, over 2 years and they haven't rusted. So make sure you do that if you're converting your van. Has that even got the fucking thing in view? It does. Okay, righto, it's a very wide angle. Hopefully it's actually not going to be too bad getting that out. Now I'll probably sell this. Someone will definitely make use of it. They're not bad. It's just the way I've implemented it isn't great. Oh, that was easy as. Okay. Except the hoses are attached. Okay. It actually looks like water was getting in there because there's some rust business going on, so that's not good. I wonder if that was from a leak. I wonder if that angle's too wide because it's not very close for you guys, is it? Anyway, might have to muck around with the settings. Oh shit. Try and keep it outside so the water drips outside. Okay, cool. Groovy. I can feel the cool air coming out from the aircon. Oh, wow, that's good. You can see the insulation in there. So, yeah, that's not a lot of room in there. The hole will need to be bigger. That's actually a shame because the hose bits fit in. But obviously, I don't want it looking like that. Okay, that's a shame. That would have just been easy. Plug that right in. So I guess I'll measure that, mark it out, and then start cutting it out. By the way, a lot of people use angle grinders when they're cutting into the van. You know what I recommend? I hate angle grinders. I find them a bit scary, harder to control. I use a multi-tool. with a metal blade. That is how I cut into the floor of the van for the aircon. Very cool. I'm trying to think, the rooftop vent and the window, we actually used a jigsaw for that, but I find the control on this much, much better. Plus I bent the blade on my jigsaw, so we're not using that. I am really glad that I am used to things going wrong, because I just saved myself a bit of a catastrophe. The website I purchased this off gave dimensions for what the cutout hole should be. They are wrong. The website says, I'm dripping with sweat, man. It says height of 119. Okay, no, that's right. But then it says a width of 180. No. The width of the cutout hole is not 180. It's more like, what do you reckon, 145? So if I blindly trusted that, look at 180 is almost the full width of the fucking thing, which we don't want. So website, you are wrong. So anyway, we are marking out not that. We are marking out 118 or 19. That doesn't focus very well close, does it? And then 147, I reckon, I'll cut out, because you do want it a bit bigger, but not too much, because look where the screw holes are. You still need some meat there. Right, it's showtime. Oh, this is a bit nerve-wracking, actually. Oh, that's not much bigger, is it? Okay, 118. Oh, wrong way. It's 118 that way. Fuck me. I might actually cut it down that way. 118. 18. And then 147. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to lie, make sure it's level with the trim there. Why does it smell like shit? Am I sitting in dog shit? I hope not. Okay. And then this was in line. That bit. This is really not very precise, is it? Oh, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten today, have I? Have I eaten? No, I haven't even had my choccy milk today. What am I doing? Now there should be enough wriggle room, actually, with the hole I cut. But if it's not perfectly square, I can sort of slightly adjust it. Okay. Alright, that's actually not that bad. Hey, stay calm. Alright, so what have I got? I've got 118. Okay, and that was right, wasn't it? 19. Yes, okay. Sweet. So, yeah, cut time. I love Azedo, right? It is so affordable and I'm actually so happy with the products. One thing I found with the multi-tool is that the replacement blades Azedo doesn't sell. And the ones I've bought from other brands to put on here don't fit. I mean, they fit, right? They go on. But then when you flop this over to tighten it, they fall out. It's fucking annoying. And I say that because this blade is getting a bit dull, but the skin of the van isn't that thick, to be honest, so hopefully we'll be right. God, I haven't used a power tool in a while. I don't know my drill. Not for like, I don't know. Actually, yes I have, just not on metal. I haven't cut a hole in the van for like, when did I do it? Maybe August? See? Pretty neat, not bad. I'm just gotta keep going now. Yeah, when like the power tool vibrates and then your hand's a bit sore afterwards. God, I sound like a pansy today, don't I? I guess I'll go across next. That's hot. Ouch. Okay. Put that up here. Okay, seriously, do I have shit on my pants? Because all I can smell is shit. No, I don't know. Something stinks. I'm hungry. Maybe I should make myself a choccy milk. Should I make myself a choccy milk? I don't know. The sheet metal vibrates so much, the line you're trying to follow is like... Oh, this multi-tool is heating up, man, that's hot. Okay, I'll catch you when this is done. This, yeah, alright, this file's gonna be huge. Well, it's just started pissing down with rain when I've got a gaping hole, so that's brilliant. I need some tape. Fuck. That's about as good as it's going to get. Yeah, I don't know if it's showing very well on camera, but it is bucketing it now. Look at the downside. Look at that. It only just started raining and gushing out. Natalie needs some water tanks, man. Well, I don't think that job's getting done today.